leaving Fairbanks. Just got fuel, and we've been in Fairbanks for about 10 days. Went to Chena Hot Springs. That was our first stay over here, and enjoyed that stay out there. And then we came back to Fairbanks to River's Edge Campground. We stayed there. We left the RV there. Leanne and I went to Prudhoe Bay on Friday. It took us 13 hours to get there. We spent the night Friday night in a refurbished oil field camp. It was very modest accommodations. Went to the Arctic Ocean on Saturday. I got my feet in the water. I did not have the courage to submerge myself. We came back, made 11 hours back to Fairbanks. And then we stayed in the campground, and then we went on the Chena River Riverboat cruise, and we saw sled dogs from Susan Butcher's dog kennel. Susan Butcher is well known in Alaska, as she's won several Iditarod championships. And then her daughter is running the camp now. Susan passed away from cancer in 2006. And then we went to the Midnight Sun Festival downtown Fairbanks. We walked around, took some photos. We didn't stay that long, half a day. Yesterday, which was Sunday, we went to go fishing on Steve's Road, and we went to a stocked lake. Mosquitoes were pretty bad. We only caught 3 fish, but it was still fun. We had a good time. And then we went to the northernmost brewery in America, or North America as far as that's concerned. Silver Gulch Brewery. Been in business over 20 years, and in the city of Fox. Fox is not a whole lot. I think they have 200 residents. The man at the bar told us, the manager, I guess. Anyway, we are headed to 49th State Brewing down in Healy, Alaska, and that's our next stop. A new intro for the Journey to Alaska YouTube series featuring the 4 nomads. I'm Mike.
I'm Leanne. I'm Dawn.
And I'm Glenn.
And we are in Alaska. We are happy to be here in Alaska. We want you to continue following our journey, and we'll put up videos as we go. We're on Highway 3, which is the road that takes us to Anchorage, and we're headed to Healy today, and maybe there's a chance that we see Denali. It's a little bit cloudy, but there's some clear skies ahead of us. So Highway 3 is also Parks Highway. This is Tanana River? Tanana.
Just say the word Tanana.
Quite a settlement here.
This must be Nanana or parking.
40 right here.
Oh, here it is, right down here.
Yeah. We are entering the 49th State Brewing Company, and this is in Healy, Alaska. Looks like they got a stage out there for events. Sign up there telling the various places that you can, how far they are away, and that's what it looks like. So we're going into Denali to the visitor center, and we're going to check out the possibility of a campground inside, right?
Right.
In 1 mile, turn right onto Denali Park.
On the river.
Crossed that several times.
Half a mile, Denali Park Road.
In 1.4 miles, at the roundabout, take the second exit.
We still have 1.3 miles till we get there.
Okay.
See, the Riley Creek, 40 feet is the biggest, so I don't know if we could squeeze in somewhere.
At the roundabout, take the second exit, then turn right.
No, at least it's a nice big roundabout.
Mm-hmm. I'll go up there to that other one.
Oh, did they have some up
Yeah.
there?
There were no sites available in the Denali Park campgrounds. None of them were available. So we decided to leave and try to find a boondocking spot on the side of the road right south of Denali. And we did check out the place where we discovered, and that's where we spent 2 nights. 2 nights we stayed here. Wonderful views, wildlife you will not imagine. And we'll show you that coming up.
I don't think I think is he okay back there?
I'd say this is a win.
So what we want to do is we want to go back and talk about an experience that we had outside of Denali. We were on the side of the road, headed in the direction of Anchorage. But we couldn't get a campground in Denali, so we just decided to boondock on the side of the road. It was a great place. We had a nice long pull-off, paved, right on the river, and a lot of wildlife around. But one of the things that struck us as unusual was after we got parked, the first night. I think it was the first night, wasn't it?
Yes.
First night. And so Dawn and Glenn bought a new fire pit, a propane fire pit.
It was a birthday present to Glenn from the kids.
Girls.
Okay. And so we were burning that, and Glenn had put the Starlink out.
And we're having our cocktails.
We were-
By evening. It was
yeah.
probably 7-ish.
And so Glenn notices a state patrol officer drive by, and he says, "Wow, what did you say, Glenn?"
Well, I said, well, obviously we're okay because he kept on going. But then I could see the road on past where we were camped at, and I didn't see his car. And then I thought, uh-oh. Then he pulls up and stops and gets out.
And very abruptly says,
Who has the Starlink?
we thought we were going to get in trouble for having
The-
cocktails
and
for
the
the
fire pit.
fireplace.
And
you know.
camping on the side of
And
the road.
camping on the side of the road.
And then we're like, we're going to get in trouble for Starlink?
And lo and behold, he been an Alaska State Trooper, getting ready to retire in the next year and a half. Really looking into RVs and want to do a lot of traveling, but his main concern was the Starlink. And he spent probably a good hour with us, just talking, laughing, having a good time. Told him all about how the Starlink worked.
Well done.
Even took him inside the camper, and it was quite funny. I said I could show you where the router is and how it's hooked up. He says, well, only if you tell me it's okay I can come in. So I said, it's okay, you can come in. He said, so I took him in and showed him the camper. And, he was just very inquisitive how it all worked. And, if we had Wi-Fi, if we had cell service, and we assured him we did. And then he just continued to stay and talk to us about campers at that point.
And he left his car running the whole
The whole time.
Well, but he also, before you went inside with him, he showed us all in the car. He showed us all his firepower he had, all his ammo and the different guns. The car was opened, the windows down, the back, and he goes in the RV with Glenn and leaves us out there with his car and all of his gear.
Of course, as we walk up to his car, we see a gun in a stand inside by the drivers, and Dawn says, "Oh, do you have a stun gun in there?" And of course, it's an AR-15. It is not a stun gun.
Well, it is a stunt. It would stun you.
Yes, it
Oh,
would.
it would stun
Stun you right in your tracks.
But he said something. He had a comeback, something about.
No, I
only
have
the
real one.
Yeah, I only have the
He
real.
did have a stun gun on his belt, though.
Yeah.
I did notice that.
Well,
Or
that
taser.
guy was so friendly.
He was a hoot. Only in Alaska would that happen to you, I think.
Hold up. Okay. Up. Okay.
But we want to put a plug in for our men in blue.
Yes.
Well, absolutely.
Yes.
He was great.
Yeah, he was really a nice man. And, you know, he only confirmed what we thought. We were in the right by camping, boondocking on the
yes.
side of the road. As long as it didn't say no camping,
Right.
you are allowed to do that in Alaska. You are allowed to pull off on the side of the road as long as it's a space provided, and you can boondock overnight.
Yeah.
And he said no one will give you any problems. It's
Right.
perfectly legal as long as it doesn't say no camping.
Right.
And we haven't run into a few of those spots
Right.
where it says no camping, and we
Right.
move on.
We move on. Yeah.
But it's very few.
Very few,
Very
yes.
few.
So that's the story about the state trooper on the side of the road. That campsite, we saw a lynx one morning, just kind of walking on the side of the road, walked right up to our campers. And we got some pictures of that. We'll put that in the video. You can see that one.
Which,
Otter. We have
which
otter.
apparently is highly unusual because lynx do not come out during the
out.
day,
Yeah.
let alone just trot down
Hardly-
the road.
Yeah, hardly anyone ever sees a lynx.
Yeah.
Like no one ever sees a lynx.
And this was early in the morning,
Yeah,
maybe
earlier.
9 o'clock or something like that.
Might have been earlier than that.
Earlier than that.
Maybe
I think,
earlier
'cause
than
And
we
I think
were
Dawn
just
and
getting
Mike
up.
both got good pictures of
Yeah.
that.
So we may not have seen a grizzly yet, but we've seen a lynx.
That's right.
We've seen a lot of wildlife.
We've seen
We
a lot
have.
of wildlife.